So we have another one today. Update on the news that I saw last night, which is appalling. This was not terribly close to the Portland courthouse attacks. I looked up the address. It doesn't look like it's in the near vicinity, but this is a testament to how crazy things have become. I witnessed a man walk into a laundromat and assault two women with a hand axe, handsaw. Sorry, not a hand axe, handsaw. But just slashing without care. I'm going to bring up this security footage here so you can see what I saw. Apparently, on the way over, he had been breaking windshields of cars and windows like that. And bam, slash, and it hurt right against their arm, and then ducks out. Comes chasing after a guy who saw it. So, if anyone ever had a question as to why I have a gun now, I want it to be very clear that riots and protests and all the troublesome things that are occurring are not just the singular events to be wary of. This is some psychopath that could have been me in the laundromat doing my laundry here in Philadelphia, and someone could have just been on a bad way, not enough food, not enough money, not enough crack, not enough heroin, and decided to do something similar. And I want to show you that, it is very clear that this man was acting in a manner that was going to result in injury to whoever he approached. Like I said, coming into this, he was breaking windshields and being rowdy. And then look at that gait as he walks in directly towards the woman who's looking at him. And she backs off a little bit and cowers. And there, see, I'll tell you, if I can back it up here. Right, so, looking at this from a self-defense standpoint, say we're the woman in the white, okay? I want to make this very clear to people that might not understand castle doctrine and the ability to stand your ground and defend yourself, because all of this McCloskey crap seems to have really gotten in people's heads that, like it's impossible to defend yourself. If you'll get arrested, you'll get charged, but, the reality is that, now of course this is being difficult for me, but the reality here is that you can defend yourself. There are many states that have adopted castle doctrine, and you have to check to see if your state is one of them, of course. But basically, it's a stand your ground law. If some psychopath comes in swinging an axe or a hammer or handsaw in this case, wherever you might be, if you have the means to defend yourself, you are legally able to do so. So having a firearm, not such a bad idea in cases for, being prepared of what's to come if more riotous behavior erupts, or if, more crazy people take this as an opportunity. Now, right here, she sees him, say, stop. And if he doesn't stop, out with the gun, boom, 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 as he lifts that up. As soon as that hand axe or handsaw was in the air, you knew that guy was not going to stop. And he could have taken 3 through the chest right there and been done. The cops wouldn't have had to calmly talk through. We'll go over the article too, but it's kind of ridiculous how this guy just literally assaulted two people with a handsaw, and basically got babied into jail along with a litany of charges granted. But the cops, they weren't playing into his bullshit. So the man is facing a slew of charges after police say he attacked 2 people in a Portland laundromat with a handsaw, as you saw. Several 911 callers reported the man with a handsaw assaulting people and breaking car windshields near the 2700 block of Northeast Weiber Street. And like I said, that's not terribly close to the courthouse, so this might be just a separate crazy, individual, not related to riots or protests at all. Now, 2 of the victims We're inside the laundromat. Security shows the suspect march straight up to the woman and swing the saw at her head. Someone rushes to her aid. He swings again. Both victims fall back. You saw that. And then he dashes outside where he's seen marching towards two bystanders who quickly move back away. So, the part we didn't get to see was the police intervention. Officers found the suspect near the 2100 block of the same street. They told him to stop and drop the saw, but he refused and told officers he was going to make them shoot. The man walked into the middle of traffic and started moving towards the officers while yelling at them, still holding the saw, police said. After several warnings, police used less lethal munitions and the man dropped the saw. Officers started talking to him and tried to calm him down. Several bystanders interrupted, screaming and taunting them. This only made the suspect more upset, according to police. Yeah, I heard that they were calling the cops racist. After this man marches into a laundromat, assaults two innocent females with a handsaw, literally could have cut that woman's jugular and she could have been bled out by the time the cops even came to the scene. And they had no recourse whatsoever. I'm telling you, just as I outlined in the video, that's the way to handle it. As soon as you see someone marching up to you with a weapon, as soon as you see it, you say, stop, in an authoritative way. If they continue to march towards you, you unload in them, period. There is no room for negotiation here. There are nut jobs out there that mean harm like this. That woman could have been dead. Someone could have lost their daughter, their mother, their sister. And all because this guy's having a bad day and wants the cops to come kill him. Dude, that's an atrocious way to do that. And you know what? I honestly wouldn't have been sad in the least if he was shot by those women and they'd suffered no injury. It would have been better that way. Because you know what? People like this are unstable, and the likelihood that he's going to go to jail for this is very high. The likelihood that he's also going to brood on this and do something similar is just as high. It's a disgusting system that propagates its own. And, I understand that not everybody, goes to jail and stays a lifelong criminal. But look at the damage. Look at the way that this man just intentionally marched up to innocent people with the intent to do them harm. Look at that. He had it dead set, and boom, just like a serial killer like Jason Voorhees, and boom, again, a second one. This is the only two people in there, and now out for some more. Okay? Look, I don't care what you say. If a smart person with a gun were in that situation, that man would be dead right now. And the cops, granted, awesome that you saved the life, but it kind of seems like, it's just another, opportunity for this man to either, do it again or, receive the attention that he's yearning for. And it just almost doesn't seem fair. I feel as though that, he was attacking these people. He was ready to attack officers. There should be no question, regardless of your politics, that man needed to be put down at that point. Period. You're attacking people. You're attacking officers. There's no question here. The fact that they use less lethal munition at that point, like, okay, if you have it, and you're willing to go through this process, I guess. And since he said he wanted to be shot, I guess it makes sense that, don't give him what he wants. But, guys, this is absurd. We need to start taking care of ourselves because obviously the cops aren't going to put people like this down. So when they attack you, do everybody a favor and do it yourself. You are legally enabled to take a life or maim or kill with a firearm or weapon in the event of self-defense anywhere. Castle Doctor, look it up. Look at your state, find out what it says. I know that in Philly, I'm only allowed to I'm only allowed to carry with a concealed carry permit because Democrats have ruined the city and made it a level 1 city, which is not a real thing. Everywhere in Pennsylvania is open carry legal, period. No license, no thoughts. But here we have, situations like in Missouri with very strong castle doctrine, and they have a partisan lawyer who is just bringing the assault to two innocent people trying to defend themselves in their home. So there is a lot of ambiguity and fright when it comes to do I do this? Can I do this? Will I get in trouble for this? Look, if it boils out to the potential of you losing your life, if you're that woman and you see a handsaw coming for your fucking neck and your face, is no question in my mind. If I had a firearm, I'd have killed that man on the spot and not felt bad about it in the least. And you know what? If that would have been murder one, or murder two, or murder three, I should be completely acquitted of those charges because I was assaulted with a deadly weapon, or very nearly. I was put under the immediate threat of death, and I responded with deadly force. That's how it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to coddle these assholes and tell them that everything's going to be okay and that they can go to jail for the next 10 years and try to work it out. No, I'm sorry. If you're coming at me with a fucking weapon, you're done. That's it. Because I do carry, and you're going to learn. And you know what? If that's what you want, that's what you get. I don't care at this point. If you're willing to do that to another person, you'd be willing to kill another person because that swing was not a tactical swing. It wasn't like you were picking your spot. You just swung indiscriminately, hoping to do damage. And if you had hit a jugular, you would have been a murderer. And if that's not something new to you, then maybe you should have been off the streets long ago, and maybe it would have been the best thing for the community and people at large if someone really did shoot you dead as a result of this incident. Shane Voldemika Green. Yeah, well, I hope that you don't see the light of day again, period. That was a hideous assault. I don't believe that you're ever going to learn. And if you do something like this again, I hope that you find someone like me that carries. And I hope you get your wish. And we put you off this miserable fucking rock that just consistently breeds people like you that make it even more miserable. Ay, ay, ay. What a horrible, horrible way to wake up and see news. You know? Like there isn't enough going on. Like there isn't enough reason to believe that federal intervention should be happening in the riots. This is just some random event in Portland, which could have very well been Philly, could have been any city at all. But the fact that there is such turmoil in Portland and there are riots going on at the courthouse, and also the usual influx of violent crime, how can you stand there and say defund the police with a smile on your face, proud to be a mom of these Antifa folks that are throwing rocks and shooting fireworks at people, federal officers, but people. It's an atrocious scene, and we really need to do better. And I'll leave you on that, but this kind of thing is not only why you should have a firearm, why you should know how to use it, know when to use it, know the laws in your state, and be prepared for things like this to happen again in the future. All right? Just be safe, guys. Don't let this kind of thing happen to you. My heart and prayers go out to the two girls that were attacked and anyone else that suffered at the hands of this man. And as to the Portland Police Department, get your shit together. I'm really sick of your happy little placating game that you're doing. Allowing this kind of terror to occur. But the reality is that federal officers are going to enforce the law in your city because you're not. And if you don't get it together and start enforcing the law, then I have no sympathy at all. So, as it goes, we'll see where this is in a day or a week. We do have the monthly coming in maybe about a week or so. We've had Q drops, so that's a plus. Look forward to good things, guys. I really do feel like we're coming to a head here. Talk to you soon.